PWI500. Viewer discretion is advised. Incoming transmission in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What's up, guys? Outcasted OC here. Do you remember? Because it is the 21st night of September, and PWI can't remember because they can't remember to put Tetsuya Naito into their PWI list. That's what we're going to be reviewing. But just before that, we are going to kind of go over the past 24 hours of crazy news that WWE gave us. We thought we were going to come into the list nice and calm, but no, WWE had other plans. So
they really woke up and chose violence this morning, didn't they?
They really did. But I feel like the best person to point in the first point of conversation to have, the wonderful Courtney, you have had one of the best announcements you could have got. So
honestly, it was the only thing that was on my 2023 bingo card this year, which I started the bingo card as soon as I found out that there was initial rumblings about an Australian premium live event next year from WWE. And it's been officially confirmed that we are going to be getting Elimination Chamber in Perth on February the 24th.
So
and I am so freaking excited. I had a feeling it would be something like TLC. I was even thinking they'd bring back No Mercy again, but obviously realized they had that on NXT. But then when I saw it was Elimination Chamber, I was like, yo, it's about to be fire. Yeah, as you know,
the best pay-per-views you could have asked for. It really is.
Yeah, honestly, I'm a little jealous you got eliminated. Like, I got Money in the Bank, and I'm happy.
Man.
But Elimination Chamber, that's like one of my favorite like pay-per-views to go to because it's one of the coolest concepts. So the fact of you get to watch the lights go on and hear that ding and the door slide open, you've got like one of the
excited. I'd spoken to Chris about it when we were driving home because we weren't actually at home when the announcement happened because WWE loves to drop news when I'm either not at home or I'm at work and I can't fully access my phone. But anyway, I was telling Chris about it on the drive home and he's like, what's Elimination Chamber? And keep in mind, he's not an active wrestling fan like we are.
Like
and I was like,
watcher.
As soon as he asked that, I just got that spot of Montez Ford falling down from this year's chamber match, and I was like, I have to show you. I'm like, this is what Elimination Chamber is.
You know the other spot you showed the Seth Rollins, Johnny Gargano, Hurricane Runner from the top of the little like the actual like door where they did that spot. That was
I forgot about that.
I plan on rewatching Elimination Chamber from this year to just show them, like, hey, this is what you can expect.
I was going to say, last year's was an incredible Elimination Chamber, so I think you're going to be in such a good spot for this year.
I hope so.
Especially because Australian talent potentially being pushed, meaning my boy Bronson Reed gets TV going.
I just want to see Mommy.
That's all you get, Bria. That's it.
Just showing Brock Lesnar at 5 in theory off the top of the
that's actually that is true because that was one that happened in Saudi, didn't it?
Yeah. That was also a good. To be honest, that was also a great Elimination Chamber. I can't remember a bad elimination.
Yeah, and that because the thing is, you sent that hype video up from Triple H, and as soon as I started watching it, I got chills everywhere because he was like,
I'm not even Australian, and I know the fact you were going and the way he spoke it. I was like, "Yo, Courtney is in for such."
Because the way he described it is, it's like it's the final stop before the road to WrestleMania, and I was like, "You realize how much stuff can happen at this PLE that will impact WrestleMania directly?" So I'm hoping. I got some emails about some pre-sales and priority packages. I'm not going to go into detail on here because I don't want to come across like I'm bragging about tickets or anything. But
we don't.
Yeah, dude, who cares? Brag your ass off about it. You're getting tickets.
No, I'm hoping to. So, okay, I've put my deposit down for some priority packages. I've been saving for a very long time, so I'm really hoping that tickets come out soon and I can get that because at the moment we don't know when tickets are going on sale and we also don't know how much they're going to be and how much capacity they're going to have. I think Optus Stadium can hold 60,000 people, but with the way that WWE builds their staging, I think we could easily see 70,000 in there. So,
yeah, for sure.
It's gonna be big. It's gonna feel like WrestleMania down under for sure. So
that'll be so sick.
Oh, yeah,
I'm so excited. This is literally like, I cried so much when I got home last night. I was like, this is insane.
But
really cool news, man.
Yeah,
I was going to say it's really good news.
Let's drop the mood though. Let's
Speaking of not good news,
let's go from riding and high to flying down low.
Yeah, let's go from the peak of all the Australian and New Zealand fans are hyped because they've got a pay-per-view right near them.
Oh, this is about to fall as far as John Morrison did off the top of that chamber that one time.
Oh no, please not Jolly Drip.
But WWE have decided that they would release some talent. Some we kind of understand where the idea of it was going, even though none of us want to see that. No one wants to praise people losing a job. I don't understand why people think it's fun to make fake releases. Those are people's jobs, their livelihoods, and it's just horrible. Us as fans don't enjoy seeing anyone go. But there are some serious big names that did get dropped through the list. I'm quite shocked at Emma's, to be perfectly honest. You only signed her last year. Didn't really book her to be like, now we're done with you. You didn't give her a chance to do anything. And then
I think it was around this time last year. This time last year where she debuted against Rousey, right?
Yeah. And then she did some intergender tag team stuff with Riddick Moss as well too. And then
and she had like a little spot between her and Shayna, looking like they were going to build a feud. But then it just
they had a match, but then nothing happened.
Like I don't think we've seen exactly,
which that's quite surprising considering I don't know how familiar people who watch our podcast are with Impact Wrestling, but she'd done quite a bit to establish herself outside of WWE.
She was one of the main event women talent in Impact. Like, as I said, I'm an active Impact guy. I keep up to it with it as best as I can. And she was one of the staples for me when she had her Impact run. To know she was getting WWE, I was like, cool, keep her Impact gimmick, book it, and she will get over naturally. And they just didn't book her.
They just didn't give her time.
I think it's really disrespectful to her because you announce Perth, you announce an Australia pay-per-view, her hometown, to be like, oh, this is a dream. I can't wait to try and wrestle in it. Oh, never mind. By the way, I've just been told my contract's done. Like, that's awful. And two of the other major names that I am so shocked they've done this, Shelton Benjamin and Dolph Ziggler. Like,
man.
I think the Shelton Benjamin one especially just hits different, I think.
It's both.
I know it's a bit of a break from WWE, but Shelton Benjamin is essentially like a lifer in WWE, and
don't get me wrong, I watched him when he went to I watched Shelton when he went to Japan, because that was in my era where I was enjoying watching Japan wrestling any I could get. He had a really cool, interesting run in Noah back in like 205, 206 and like everything like that, and then he came back to WWE, and that is a guy that I perfectly said this, even if he's not in an active wrestling contract, change him to a coach, change him to a Booker contract, because his mind is pure professional wrestling. Same as Ziggler. I personally wanted Ziggler to carry on wrestling. I think he's got too much in the tank to not put him in a position of still wrestling. And he could have been your Miz. He is another your Miz of he is the gatekeeper. If you go anyone against him, he can put them over, yet still put on a big name. And
he did that for Gunther.
And Bron Breakker, the whole NXT back and forth, and then
Drew McIntyre, he was like his first feud at WrestleMania in 2020.
This is what I'm saying. He was your Miz around the time. He was a gatekeeper. He was someone that, if you knew us, we will do this. And personally, I'm now more upset because if Robert Roode ever comes back, we won't get Dirty Dogs again. We won't get that fun tag team again, because I thought they were a solid tag team for the tag team division. Don't get me wrong, I want Glorious Rude back, but
just to put it into perspective, though, like Dolph Ziggler has been in the company since I want to say like 2004.
He's the last standing member of the Spirit Squad, my guy.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, and that's
great history knowledge there.
Like, you would think that. I think it's really. I mean, I'm not being funny. We can't sit here and all go, oh, I was pining for Dolph Ziggler on Monday Night Raw this week. Oh, I missed Dolph Ziggler. No, we weren't sat here thinking that. But I think we can all agree on that. Like, Like, no, do you know what I mean? It's not like,
I get-
Ross was. He's got a
I can't
poster
wait.
in
I
his
can't
room.
wait to see Dolph this week. Like, if he's not on Raw this week, then Raw's not worth watching. Listen, we're not all in that situation, right? Okay, but what I am saying is like, it's incredibly disrespectful, in my opinion, to release Dolph Ziggler. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, he's the type of. I mean, at this point, like 2004, he's 20 years in the company. And that'd be like releasing like The Undertaker in like 2012.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's kind of crazy. I mean, I'm not comparing his career to The Undertaker, but I'm
But
comparing.
you're saying
you mean
the
like
circumstance would very much feel the same.
And you mean like the long tenure, like how long
Yeah.
they both wrestled the same amount of like years in a company? Like,
yes.
To add to that point as well, it would be even more disingenuous now if Dolph Ziggler gets put in the Hall of Fame this year because you released him this year. Like, well, like,
exactly.
Why would you do that? Like, don't get me wrong. I want Dolph Ziggler in a Hall of Fame. He's got, in my eyes, one of the best Hall of Fame careers out of quite a lot of people.
Yeah, he's definitely
best Money in the Bank cash-in ever. Like, do I need to say more? Yeah, it is the best Money in the Bank cash-in ever.
I'm just kidding. It was the cash-in before the heist of the century was a thing. I feel like
exactly.
His cash-in and heist of the century, they're not the same picture. They're two different things.
I'm more of an Edge on Undertaker kind of guy.
You know what? Actually, I'm not going to
agree with you. I can agree.
I'm not going to say that's not a good one.
That's still a good shout, but like. For me, Ziggler's was the best because of the will they won't you, and this is a testament to Ziggler. This guy was so over that he made everyone think the company were gonna not do it, so the company were gonna do it, so then they didn't do it, and then they did do it. Like this guy knew how to play.
That night was fantastic. Like with Del Rio like wrestling, and then he injured his leg, and it was like I was like, are they? And all you heard was, I'm here to show them, and all the crowds went, yeah.
And then the whole fact he kicked out as a zigzag, and they were like, "Oh no, they're screwing Dolph."
I know.
Don't have to rewatch their match today, honestly.
Honestly, with everything we're saying here, before we get into this PWI list, because this is other wrestlers we're definitely going to praise that are on this list. Wrestlers are great entertainment. They put themselves out there. They do amazing work. And hopefully these wrestlers land on their feet because no one deserves to lose a job, especially when they've been this good at it. Like another one that's crazy to me is Elias. I know he wasn't the best technical wrestler, but in a company called World Wrestling Entertainment, God was Elias entertaining.
Yeah.
Well, with Elias as well, it was very surprising for me because Vince apparently was very high on Elias. Like, he loved Elias, and Cena even endorsed him when he came up with this whole walk with Elias thing. Cena loved that. Like, so it's crazy to see that Elias has gone.
Yeah.
I mean, speaking of people who like play guitars,
no, please don't.
I can't believe Boogs has gone, man. Like,
you know what makes that worse is that the fact that when Pat McAfee finally returns and Shinsuke Nakamura's theme hits, we're not going to get that anymore.
There's going to be no
get the freak out.
For me, I think the thing with Boogs was they trialed and errored it. It worked well for him, but the injury is what capped him because there was no way to book him after it because they were like, right.
That Mania injury,
exactly. And they were like, right, you've had too much time away from Shinsuke. We've got a plan for Shinsuke. We haven't really thought about you.
Yeah.
The thing is about Boogs though, like I feel like with his charisma and his look and like the fact that he can absolutely shred a guitar, book it.
Exactly.
Like, what's so hard about that?
I don't know, clearly quite a bit. But that thing, especially I just want to say quickly with Shelton Benjamin, that's got me like a little bit concerned about Cedric now too.
Oh, don't put that into my mind, please.
Trying to, but that got put in my mind as soon as I saw the news about Shelton. I was like,
either he's going down to NXT or he's getting let go at the end of that. I think that's what's going to happen.
Yeah,
I would love to see him in NXT. Another person that I do want to talk about, I think this is a bit of a sad story, to be fair, is Top Dollar. And I'm not saying it's a sad story because of Hit Row. The rest of Hit Row are still there. I'm saying it because like he got released first of all from the company, and then he started he started being an Uber driver to like make ends meet in between his like tenure in WWE, and then he came back, which must have been like a really great feeling for him because like it felt like maybe Triple H had a bit of a plan for Hit Row, maybe that he believed in him a little bit. They kind of stuttered and stalled Hit Row this past year. Not really sure why, because again, it's a gimmick that can be booked incredibly easily. And now they've let him specifically go, and that's got to be a kick to the absolute top dollars right there. Like,
and also to the teeth of everybody else, to be fair, but Ashanti. Because what
Well,
are
this
they
is what
going
I'm
to do?
saying. How are you going to
No.
book them now? Like, do you have plans for them? Because you've just technically removed their faction leader, who was their big mouthpiece for them. Like,
And we also still don't have Swerve Strickland either. I feel like Hit Row when it came
he
back
swears
once
when he
Swerve
drives.
left, kind of wasn't the same. I don't know. I just didn't.
No, I agree. I feel like Hit Row could have done well without Swerve if it was built correctly, booked right, put top dollar in these scenarios where he didn't have to go against really well-known wrestlers, like put in mid-carders for a long time, build up the faction, win some little tag teams.
Yeah.
Then they start talking as a, yo, we're sick of everyone's attitude to us. We're going to build us our way.
So the last person that I do want to discuss before we go to the PWI list is probably the biggest surprise for me, and that's Ali. Now, if any of you guys who are watching, like, keep up to date with my NXT reviews, you would know that he's involved in a pretty big storyline at the moment for the North American Championship. He actually had a match stapled for No Mercy coming up this week on Saturday. He actually did a backstage promo where he said he was going to appear on Monday Night Raw to deal with the situation with Dragon Lee getting a North American Championship match before he did. A situation where I was about to make a video on saying that Mustafa Ali has a good point, because I was about to say Ali has a great point. Dominic Mysterio counted the pin and Ali won. That's not his fault. He shouldn't get booed for it. I was about to make that video and then he got released, and I was like, so what's going on then? Is Dragon Lee just going to win the North American Championship on Raw?
By the looks of it, yes. Because I honestly do think that with this new gimmick that Mustafa Ali had, I definitely could have seen him being NXT North American Championship potential, and also the champion as well.
Yeah,
for sure. Because he had kind of like a politician kind of gimmick going on, where he was like,
he finally got the gimmick he wanted years ago. He pitched this literally years ago of like. And they scrapped it. They were like, nah, we don't want to do it. He finally started getting to do it in NXT, and it had numbers. I'm not joking. It was one of the most viewed debuts of a gimmick on that NXT episode. And no one has now gone, oh, what the hell? Like, no one has gone, oh, yeah, that's fine. Ali's gone. No, everyone's like, what the hell? Like,
it was super interesting.
It's come out of the blue, hasn't it? Like, and there's one
just out of the blue. How I saw it, and I don't know about you guys. He was already a free agent, so he was getting to go Raw, NXT, SmackDown.
Exactly what it was.
Part of me didn't believe it and wanted to treat it as this is a storyline gimmick of he is so done with WWE. He said he's not going to work with them, and he's going to jump them as a non-employee, get kicked out, and then it'll cause a stipulation at No Mercy where it's Ali fights for his career again.
Yeah, I would like that.
It's just, I don't understand them sometimes.
It's one of the weirdest releases, not just of this round of releases, but like for me of like the past like couple of years, ever since like the big releases of 2020. So it really is. I don't remember a superstar being released while he's in the middle of a big storyline and while he's got a match literally pegged for a championship match, like about literally like a week from now. I've never heard of that before. I think it's really strange. Even the bigger stars, like back in like 2020, who got released, like a Rusev and stuff like that, like weren't in big storylines really.
I think the only two major ones when it was the COVID releases that had major storylines, I'm pretty sure was Aleister Black, because he was still in the storyline feud with Buddy Murphy, Seth Rollins, and Austin Theory when they were all doing that Monday Night Messiah.
He got released. Bray Wyatt. He got released when he had that weird gimmick and he was coming back with it.
Oh yeah, where he lost the eye type of thing, and that's where he kind of still kept it in AEW now as well.
Well,
I think it's just
that's the releases, man. It's like I just can't believe what's happened.
We also haven't mentioned Aaliyah as well too, which that one for me kind of I I kind of had a feeling that May, if releases were going to happen, would be one. And I know that's really harsh for me to say, but we haven't seen her on TV in a very long time. I think since she had that injury with Raquel in the tag titles. So that was almost a year ago.
Oh yeah, it was, yeah.
But I think that's what the problem was. Like, this is another thing. You started building her, she got injured. No fault of her own. These things happen in the ring.
Yeah.
But you didn't plan anything for when she returned. You were just like, cool, you're injured. You're going to sit out your injury. You're going to sit out your contract. We're done. Like,
yeah, and she's actually been tweeting as well too. When she's like, "Who's waiting for Friday Night SmackDown? Who wants me to come back?" Like, she had been ready to go for a very long time.
Yeah, she's like,
I think we also forget that she was in NXT for what, 7 years?
Yeah, a long time, and she worked her ass off in NXT to get up to SmackDown as well. Not for nothing,
she really did.
Not for nothing. They actually give her a pretty big thing last year where she holds the fastest pin record.
317
over Natalia.
Yeah, like
the 317, which was literally like her whole gimmick, trying to be like another Stone Cold, and they even made like Stone Cold-esque shirts with that on for her. And it's just a shame. Like, once again, another I feel like a lot of these talents were talents that never really got the opportunities. They were in like a booking circle. We booked you once or twice. We're going to have you sit out for most of the year. Oh, yeah, we kind of realized we can't really book you. Cool, bye.
Which is really a shame, because a lot of these people do actually have a lot to offer in terms of wrestling. I just think, as you say, because they just don't get the chance, because somebody like a Damian Priest or somebody like a Charlotte Flair may get the numbers, may be seen as more reliable, but how are you going to build new stars if you don't give people a chance? Has always been my thought process. Like, how are you going to get the next Stone Cold Steve Austin if you don't give Rick Boogs a chance? Does that kind of make sense? If you're not giving that new person the opportunity to grow and have their moment and get the fans behind them and actually create something magical, how are they going to have those new stars for when you've got the stars of today that are going to eventually step back? You're not going to have anybody ready to go.
I agree, and I think somebody. I'm not going to lie. I think somebody backstage needs to be held accountable for this kind of stuff, because you've got talent there that have literally been there a year. Like you're Emma, you're Top Dollar.
Yeah.
I have a feeling Karrion Kross and Scarlett aren't long for this
Please
company.
don't say that.
I know, but
can't take it again.
It's the same situation, isn't it?
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, all of these hires are from the Triple H camp, and he brought them back, and he didn't do anything with them. So where do you get the point where like he's hiring all his toys back, and then he's not doing anything with them, and then then WWE has to release him? I mean, I'm not saying it's his fault entirely, but what I am saying
definitely is a reason why.
If you're head of creative and you don't have anything creative for them, then what was the point in bringing them back? Giving them false hope. I mean, at the end of the day, they are humans and they are jobs. Yay, have just been hired by one of the biggest companies in the world, been given a second chance, and then they get given nothing, and now I'm released again. That's from a human perspective. That's how it looks.
I think that also really raises the question is, do you think we're going to see any of these now free agents show up in any other wrestling companies? We'll talk about that, and then we'll get into the PWI list.
90-day compete clause.
Yeah.
None of them are rocking up in the next few days. They all have 90 days. Because they're all main roster. NXT ones, 30 days. So next month.
Yeah. But out of those releases, do you see any of them potentially jumping?
100%.
100%.
Well, if you do not pick up Ziggler, you are losing a major asset in the wrestling industry.
You're an idiot if you don't pick Ziggler.
Stupid idiot.
Stupid idiot.
Shelton, go back to Japan. Do what you did amazing in Japan when you had your little fun there. Go back. Take New Japan by storm. Take Noah by storm. Freaking take all Japan by storm. I don't care where you land in Japan. Just beat Japanese wrestlers up again. I loved it.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Rossi boy, I've not got this on my phone, so do you have
Yes, I do have the list ready to be presented, guys. Don't worry.
I thought it's very inauthentic for me to write notes on this. I feel like my most authentic reaction and experience is going to be just from seeing it for the first time.
Let me know if you guys can see it. If you need me to zoom in.
Zoom in a little bit.
Yes, she's a little blurry.
Is that better?
Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's better. Yep.
Yeah, that's better. Yeah.
Right. So this is what we talk about. So the main thing I was going to bring up, where the position was last year, and where they are now placed. Do we agree with it, disagree with it, or certain names that we're going to mention that we don't really feel even deserve to be on there?
There are certain names that I'm looking at. I mean, I know he's high on the list anyway, but like Gunther, for example, like
right. So I'm gonna put one straight in the bed here. Why is Okada in the top 10 still? This is arguably his worst year. The only major crazy good match he had was against freaking Daniel Bryan. I don't care what people say about the G1. It's always fixed. Okada always looks good in a G1 because it's Okada. It's a staple boy. It's Japan's favorite. So he's always going to get through the tournament. And I'm just glad Sonada is still champion. And Sonada should be above Okada. It makes no sense that your New Japan World Heavyweight Champion is not above Okada, regardless if Sonada's reign's been a bit weaker.
He's been quite consistent though this year.
It's been consistent. That's my point. It's been nothing but consistency.
I think what's interesting on this list as well too is they also have the previous year's ranking as well too. So you can kind of see where they were last year, and you can see whether or not they have, progressed up the card in terms of up positioning, or if they've gone down.
But like this is my thing. Ospreay 17 on this list. When did you start picking this list? Because arguably Ospreay has had the best wrestling year of his life. Beat Kenny Omega. Beat Chris Jericho, beat Okada, beat literally DDT. No, not DDT. Sorry, one of Noah's most famous guys, one of his like veteran wrestlers. He's beat him in the space of 3 months. Like
it doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah,
he main evented All In. Like he was second main event to All In. Like he was the UK boy. In my eyes, he should have been the main event against Chris Jericho. I know they won't do that because the AEW World title, but Ospreay is just that guy. How have you not put him higher? Like,
should have been the main event, bruv.
He should have been the main event, bruv. Or I'm going to make the argument that Ospreay should be in Vikingo's spot, and I feel Vikingo should be down a little bit.
Why is Vikingo there? I mean, I don't really know much about Vikingo.
Vikingo is a very great wrestler. I love a lot of what he can do. I think he's one of the most unique high flyers. But as you said there, naming matches you can remember about him. The problem with him is he doesn't get major screen. He doesn't get the same screen time as everyone else. He's had a couple matches on AEW, which is how a lot more people knew him. And that Kenny Omega match versus Vikingo, absolutely fantastic. Some of the GCW matches that I've got to watch him in, also fantastic. Been a AAA champion for a while now. Dope. But, once again, does he fit the same audience, the same level as people that are below him? I'm sorry, MJF, below Vikingo.
MJF should be top 5.
I'm making the bold statement. MJF should be where Moxley is.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to make a bold statement that Gunther should be number 1.
I was actually going to say Gunther should easily be in the top 3. I'm sorry.
Top 3.
But I just think one thing we need to mention as well, too, is there was a video that went around last year by the YouTube channel Ring the Bell. I am subscribed to the channel, so watch the video. The guy, his name's DS, he interviewed the editor-in-chief or something of PWI, and actually asked him what the process and how long the time frame is that they judge. So apparently they judge from SummerSlam of last year to SummerSlam of this year. So you've got that window of time where they can make decisions based on where they're going to rank people, which is really hard because if people have really good accomplishments outside of SummerSlam, i.e. Gunther becoming the longest intercontinental champion of all time, that's not going to get considered in the PWI list for 2023. It'll get mentioned in next year's one. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see Gunther easily in the top 3 next year. But it's just wild.
See, the problem is, like, I understand that he's just become the longest reigning IC champion of all time. You've got to also consider the fact that his run started around SummerSlam last year.
June of 2022. That was before SummerSlam.
Well, this is it. So they can't from SummerSlam till now SummerSlam. So, like, he was IC champion while this list begun. And also, like, you got to consider all the great matches that he's had since then. The match with Sheamus, the match with Rey Mysterio, the match with Ricochet, the rematch with Ricochet, the match
That
like,
triple threat from Mania.
the triple threat from WrestleMania, the match that he had with Drew McIntyre, like all of the classic matches that he's put on this year for the Intercontinental Championship is just insane. The match that he had with Pete Dunne was great. That like all of these matches, and he's not considered to be top 3 is crazy for me. I don't understand. Like I say, for me, he would be number 1, 100%. Like other people who would say like deserve to be maybe in the top 5, like your Sami Zayn's, your Jey Usos, and Jimmy Usos, like they literally became the longest reigning tag team champions last year. Last year,
exactly.
Like they're not even. Are they even in the top 10? I can't see them. Right, exactly. So where are the Usos? Or like where is one of them at least?
They are not on the list.
Are they not on the list like at all?
Nope. Me and G spoke about this, and I'm pretty sure G pointed out to me that she did not say Jimmy or Jey Uso. Let me do. Is it control?
Sorry, let me pick my drawer up really quickly. What the hell?
Right, so if I do Uso, yeah, look. So what I do with this page, if you do Control F, it does a find.
Yeah.
I wrote Uso. Do you think it could find Uso in the list of the current page?
Nuso.
0 out of 0. Yeah.
What? How do you create,
not on the list.
How do you create a list and not include the
arguably the biggest storyline of
the best tag team in all of WWE?
So for me, and then this might be controversial, like that for me invalidates this whole list. The fact
I'm going to state the biggest one that invalidates this whole list. How can you go from SummerSlam to SummerSlam when you're ranking people outside of the WWE? If you're going to plan this whole list correctly, fairly, you pick the earliest pay-per-view that is always known to their next year's pay-per-view, which is Wrestle Kingdom on January 4th. You go January 4th to January 4th. That is a full year of everyone.
Yeah,
I just
gives
don't
everybody
understand
a chance to have that same judgment period.
Exactly. That gives every single company, because I'm sorry, there are names on here that have done things well before SummerSlam that deserve major pushes. Samoa Joe is like what now, arguably one of the longest Ring of Honor television champions.
Do you also see with his previous year position last year, it was non-applicable?
Yeah, because he wasn't
on the list last year. Yeah.
Just to break away for a moment, because literally I've just got post notification. We might need to worry about the next half an hour. Brian Alvarez has noted that many NXT cuts are happening. Many NXT cuts.
Oh my god, no!
Reese is not going to have anybody to talk about anymore.
Oh, I'm gonna have nothing and everything at the same time to talk about on Wednesday.
You're going to have Natalia go down to NXT, and you're going to have.
Oh no! Why is she still in the company?
Because she's a Neidhart.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's literally
right. Here's another one I wanted to talk. I wanted to talk about. This is one that very upsets
Jay White
me.
at 32.
Jay White at 32.
I'm just looking for that little New Zealand flag.
You were trying to look for your boy.
Yeah, look for my boy. Where's he at?
Leader of the Bullet Club Gold. Guns up. But right, this is what I wanted to talk about. Why is KO and Sami Zayn at 21 and 22? Not to be this guy, shouldn't Sami Zayn be slightly higher than Kevin Owens because Sami Zayn did more?
Not just slightly. Not just slightly.
I wouldn't have even been mad if he was in the top 15.
But Kevin Owens top 15. Yeah.
Kevin Owens, for me, this year hasn't done enough to earn himself in the top 30. I know he beat the Usos at WrestleMania, but for me, compared to the person he was next to, Sami Zayn, like he does not deserve.
He pales in comparison to Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn quite literally, in like 50 words or less, infiltrated the bloodline, created friction, tore the bloodline apart, went up against Roman, had a really good match, which actually redefined his career, I think. Yeah. Gave him a second wind of,
Sami Zayn literally had probably the loudest pop of this year, if not in the past 10 years, at the Royal Rumble where he hit Roman in the back with that chair.
Yeah. And you know what's crazy when I think about Sami Zayn is I honestly think about this time last year he was doing that intercontinental conspiracy gimmick, and to see how he's changed in this like entire year. He's gone from being a mid-card act to like a main event talent, literally within the span of a year. All on his own.
Here's one. Here's a major one that I really want to talk about because this has really irked me now. Matt Cardona at 31.
Yeah, he should be higher.
Do you know how many belts that man has?
Do you know one thing I've seen just now is why is Bobby Lashley 19?
Yeah, no. Bobby Lashley needs to be down. What was he doing last year? They basically booked him against Brock Lesnar.
He was ranked number 5 last year.
Well, no, if we're going from SummerSlam to this year's SummerSlam, he was like, okay, so he was United States champion this time last year. What's he done since then?
Exactly. He lost to Brock Lesnar.
Hmm.
He had
that was way before though. That was like last year's.
No, this was this year.
Was it?
Yeah.
I thought no.
I
That was
can't
last
remember
year's
the last time we've actually seen him actively wrestle because he was supposed to have that match at Mania, wasn't he?
Like, we've just saw him wrestle now. Like we haven't saw him wrestle. We've just.
Oh yeah, he did lose to Brock Lesnar. My bad at Elimination Chamber. Do you know what? That literally proves my point. I forgot totally about that match. Totally. Yeah. That's how insignificant it was. He's not done anything.
It's the last time that we saw him wrestle.
Exactly.
Yeah. That was my point. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's around when he lost.
Yeah.
But like, how have you put Matt Cardona at 31? How?
Matt Cardona should be in the top.
This man has 6 different championship belts on his freaking name. He is literally an indie star that is being paid like a main professional wrestler because everyone's booking him as champion. That says enough. The man has gone to Japan, Australia, freaking UK, everywhere, and has become a champion. What are you doing?
I had the privilege to watch him wrestle live about this time last year at Fightmare. He had a really good match.
Bro, isn't he freaking sick? Like, just Matt Cardona now, like the whole indie god style wrestler. Yeah, he's so really good. And people just don't. Oh, it just really hurts.
He should be in the top 15 for me. The top 15 for sure.
How is Zack Sabre Jr. 36?
He was 29 last year. How has he gone down?
Reese. Solo Sikoa's at 38.
Oh, I mean,
what? But he's at 401 last year.
400. I don't know how he was at 401. What did he do?
Because he only just debuted on the main roster at Clash.
He had that quick won the US bout, had to relinquish it the same day.
Oh, dude, when he won that North American Championship, I was so buzzing. And don't get me wrong, like Solo Sikoa's done great stuff this year. Does he deserve to be 38? Like, I'm not gonna lie, I love him. Probably not, but like, I'll take that. I'll take it. He deserves to be there.
Bloodlines paid PWI to put them.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Paul Heyman's on that phone. Like he gets
Paul out. Paul Heyman really be out here saying, "Call PWI."
Yeah, I just saw like 3 other names that need to be a lot higher.
Who are you saying?
You can't have Kenta this low, Ricky Starks this low, and freaking Alex Shelley. Like, what?
Alex Shelley.
Alex Shelley. I mean, yeah, I agree with the Alex Shelley one. Alex Shelley.
I'm sorry, no, that my voice is broken because that is actually shocked me. You're telling me.
Made it into a soundbite.
You're telling me you've just got one of the most over guys in Impact Wrestling, who is currently your Impact World Heavyweight Champion, down this low.
I'm just curious. Like, go all the way up to like the top, the bottom 50. See who's there. Like,
no, I'm not having this.
Who are you looking at?
Finn Balor at 61. I'm fighting.
I love Finn Balor. Finn Balor's had like 5 championship matches this year, and he's fucking lower than Solo Sikoa.
I'm so mad, bro. Right, here we go. They're going to be wrestlers we don't know. I swear to God, they're going to be wrestlers we don't know. Right, Andrew Chase.
Chase.
Yes! Andre Chase.
Andre Chase, yes!
Wait, no, that's Chase.
He's from Chase U.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Oh, I'm so happy he's on the list. It validates everything. Fuck the Usos. Andre Chase, baby.
If we don't take anything away from this episode, we're just going to take away his reaction when he saw Andre Chase.
Big Dust,
Oh,
AK Willis, Aiden Rex, and
Anastasia Morningstar.
Anastasia, thank you.
I don't know who
Stan
that is.
Styles. Exactly.
Who the fuck?
Austin Luke, Johnny Robbie, George South, Andrew Tang.
I'm just saying, how do PWI pick these guys at the end? Like, how do they know these people, and how do they
Just
get
random
on
name generator.
Yeah.
Bro, Colt Cabana is 474.
Oh god. He's literally on this list as a token for what Punk said about him at Brawler.
Yeah. Yup.
Oh, bro, that's made me sad. Liam Slater's like 456. That's...
Hey, at least he's on there. Jay Uso.
Yeah.
Carrying Cross 440? What?
Oh,
wow. That I highly disagree with.
that's insane.
Sorry, you've put Karrion Kross lower than Sonny Kiss. When was the last time we saw Sonny Kiss wrestle? When?
When's the last time anyone cared about Sonny Kiss?
Sonny Kiss has left AEW now, by the way.
Yeah,
He doesn't have a contract anymore.
Sonny, kiss him goodbye. Wait.
Hey.
Hey.
You put Hikuleo at 416.
That's a crime against nature right there.
Are you actually?
Are you just feeding into it now, Reese?
Oh yeah, I am. Yeah. Ross, where's Bandido?
I don't know where Bandido is, and I'm not going to be happy where he is.
Where's
But
Jay
right, no,
Uso?
right. Listen. I've got to preach. I've got to preach
God.
Hikuleo's name.
Guys, it's 7 sessions now.
Had a fucking match against Jay White when Jay White was the champion in Japan, and made Jay White lose. What are you on?
Clearly, PWI doesn't know their wrestling knowledge enough.
Do a search. I'm just curious. Do a search for Takeshita. Where's Takeshita? Surely he's
126.
Wow, that's low. He beat Kenny twice. Oh wait, no, after SummerSlam.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Anyway,
Bro, LA Knight's 130.
No,
that was because he didn't start getting that push though.
Well, I mean, to be fair, yeah, he did. He did. He won at SummerSlam, and then before then, he had that whole going on with everyone. Then he had the Bray Wyatt feud.
Bandido's
He's gonna freak out about
136.
Minoru Suzuki, isn't he?
No, Bandido's at 136.
Oh, that is criminal.
That's
He was
wrong.
at 31 last year.
Yeah, that's why it's so wrong. The man's
What
just
a
re-signed with AEW and
nice.
had so much television time.
Oh,
You're
my
telling
God.
me he hasn't been good. I'm sorry, Best Amigos was a hell of a fun watch.
I love. Is Brock Lesnar on this list?
I hope he's not. I really hope he's
I
not.
hope he
but-
beat Bandido. That'd be
Imagine
very
if
funny.
Brock Lesnar couldn't make the
No.
list. You're not on the list.
Nope, not on the list.
Oh, okay.
That's crazy, dog.
Chris Sabin's at 110.
Shinsuke Nakamura is at 113.
That's criminal.
That's
I mean,
fucking criminal.
sorry.
No, I
sorry.
agree with that. He's not done anything really.
Sorry. You're telling me Shibata.
Oh,
You
Oh,
put
no.
Shibata at 104.
Oh my god.
tell him, bro.
Yeah, you tell him, Queen.
I'm gonna Shibata you if you don't get them up this list.
Hey, do you know what my favorite kind of breed is?
Oh, right.
Shibata.
Right, maybe I'm just being too hypercritical, but these things are
You are.
really annoying me because I'm sorry, so many of these have been great freaking champions, and you're putting them this low down on a list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Also, I just want to say as well too, when we get to it, I saw Drew McIntyre. The picture of the little flag is not even right. Like they've put the UK flag. Isn't he from Scotland?
He's
He
from
is.
Scotland.
Stupid. It's just
Rocky
the one with the X
How
on
are
it.
you putting Rocky Romero at 79? This man has not done anything significant
That's
other than have a
ridiculous.
couple of matches with best friends.
Where's Orange Cassidy? Yeah.
Who's in the top 10?
Oh yeah, you're right. I
Eddie
see him,
Kingston
yeah.
is 77.
Eddie Kingston
He's
should
at
be
8.
higher.
Eddie Kingston definitely should be higher. That
Yeah, but the world is cold, so he's not.
Mm.
Trey Miguel at 20. I'll take that. I'm happy with that.
Who?
Trey
Yeah,
Miguel is Impact. Is a Impact wrestler. He is the X Division champion. Well, he was the X Division champion.
Look at
Where's,
Adam Page though, 28, and originally was at 4 last year.
Oh, that is. Oh,
That's so shit.
yeah, I don't know what to say about
But I actually agree with this one. What has Hangman Adam Page really done?
that. That's fair. Yeah, that is
Instigated
fair.
some drama with a Mr. CM Punk. Where does he
Yeah,
come from?
yeah. Had a beef with Punk, got taken off telly for a bit, and then they were like, "Hey, yo, we're gonna bring you back against Swerve Strickland." Oh wait, shit, Swerve Strickland's like really hot right now. You're gonna probably lose to Swerve. Cool.
Is Punk on this list?
Yeah.
I hope not. I hope.
I don't think I've seen his name on here.
No,
Court
he's
of
not
Honor's
on the
this
list.
and-
He is not on the list.
Oh,
what?
I mean, I don't agree with what he's done over the past year or so, but he should be on the list.
What about Jungle Boy Jack Perry? Or are we gonna start crying him a river?
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, cry me a fucking fake list, cry me a fucking river.
Yeah, Jack Perry 73.
That's pretty low. I would have put him higher. Than that.
He was at
He's
90
above
last
Eddie
year.
Kingston.
That's
What?
yeah, Eddie. But that says something because Jack Perry should be higher than that, but Eddie Kingston should be considered maybe top 30.
But how is Damian Priest at 71 and he was at 57 last year?
Yeah, he's done more this year than he did last year.
How
Yeah.
right. How is David Finlay above Eddie Kingston? How? How? I know he's just become leader of Japan's Bullet Club and this War Dogs, but you're telling me man's done better than Eddie Kingston? Get out of here.
Is
Get-
Bronson Reed on this list?
Oh.
Surely he should be with what he did last year for Japan as well.
No, because he'd be under. Oh, he is 150
Okay.
for not being on the list last year. Decent.
Yeah.
Sorry. Look who's below him. You're putting Ilya Dragunov that low.
Oh, that's criminal.
Do you know what's no? So do you know what's criminals? He's 151. Last year he was 72. He's basically doubled his number and gone further down the list.
Yeah.
There's a
and he's
difference
done-
of 79.
Ilya Dragunov has done more than he did. What?
He's done so much more work and so much more build.
Just
Sorry,
out of-
him first freaking mate. The
Where's
amount
Bron-
of feuds I could talk.
Where's
Yeah.
Braun Breaker? Curious.
I showed you that earlier, didn't I?
No?
He was quite high up, Bron Breakker was. Pretty sure it was around this mark. Yeah,
I mean,
there you go. 37.
Ah,
He was
well,
Zack Sabre Jr. was just below him, and I was going on
right,
about
okay,
how
no,
Zack Sabre Jr. should be higher.
I didn't see his name. Yeah, fair play. I mean, Braun Breaker arguably should be higher than that, seeing as though he was NXT champion at last year's SummerSlam. And
Well, clearly PWI list doesn't know their history because they obviously are ranking
I'll-
people
I'll take Carmelo Hayes being where he is, though. He
top
is that
20. I'm
guy.
happy with that. Well, he
Yeah,
was
he
at
is.
77 last year. That's really good for him to
Yeah,
be
that's
improving
that-
that much.
Well, again,
I'm sorry, but Cody going from 6 to 10 is kind of funny. So what? You're telling me his feud run was better in AEW last year than this year? I don't know, man.
Whatever.
I mean, he hasn't really done much apart from WrestleMania, has he, Cody? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Had a 3-time feud with Brock Lesnar.
Oh,
Whack.
yay. Oh,
Lesnar.
God. I'm chomping at the bit to go and watch that again.
Can totally see the excitement on your face.
Oh,
I
yo,
can
here's
see
one
it,
to
yeah.
talk about. Yeah. Kaito Kiyomiya got really high up this year, which is good. I'm proud of him.
Has he done well in the G1?
He had his spot in the G1, and he was previously the Noah World Heavyweight Champion.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
So and he's basically being considered as like the wonder child of Noah. Like he is the heart and spirit of Noah, and put it on his back. He's kind of like Noah's Okada, but them two kind of actually went into a full proper shoot fight. I
Yeah.
remember sending it you, Reese, I think.
Yeah, you did.
Like when Okada literally unleashed the dog in him and beat the actual hell out of Kaito.
Oh,
Because Okada's like a genuine athlete, isn't he?
Yeah. Okada got so mad. he just wailed on him. He was like, cool, so you've actually hit my face properly when you weren't meant to. Right, we're on. Let's go fight.
Is Gabriel Kidd on this list?
Oh, mate, what a shout. I hope so. Oh, Kid Bandit is on the list at 282.
282. Oh, okay.
Laredo Kid is what, 124. Kid Lycos is 317.
Oh, I'll take Kid Lycos.
Gabriel Kidd at 374. Are you?
I feel like he should be higher than that.
Okay, so I'm just going to make a really unpopular opinion that may be seen as popular about this. I feel like the PWI list is just a list to make a certain group of people happy. The way that I feel about it is you cannot tell me how I should feel about certain wrestlers, and you should not be ranking them and then expecting me to agree with everything that you've said, because people have different opinions of these things. And I just think, and it's just, for me, it's just like, I just don't understand, and this is something we can probably discuss right now. I just don't understand at what point the PWI list has become like gospel, the same way that Dave Meltzer's star ratings are. Like, everybody has to feel that.
I agree.
You know what I
agree.
mean? It's just, I don't understand, because it's always this time every year that people are like waiting for the PWI list, and then when it comes out, they're all up in arms. But it's like, maybe if you don't concern yourself so much with the PWI list, it won't actually upset you as much.
No,
as
yeah, I agree with that. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's fun to look at, but I don't think you should take it as gospel 100%.
No.
I think like, right. I think like this is where my point will come from. I understand where the list is, and it's fine to rank people, especially if you've done it for years, and then this is like your statistics of like what you thought was good, what you thought was bad overall, and what the majority of people are saying. But like for me, the timing of where you're ranking these people makes no sense. You can't do SummerSlam to SummerSlam, because Gabriel Kidd in that period was only wrestling for Rev Pro. It was only around like Wrestle Kingdom did he join Bullet Club as the War Dogs, won the New Japan titles, went to the G1 and beat the piss out of anyone that walked in the ring against him. He jumped people at a press conference. Like, this guy was entertaining as a heel, and you're telling me you're going to put him this low? Nah.
I'm thinking, say for example, we did this list. I think what would be a really fair way to do it is you would do from, say for example, we're doing the PWI list for next year. You would do January of 2023 all the way through to February of 2024, because you said Wrestle Kingdom's in January, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you can't have any of those accomplishments not be recognized in the list if you're going just January to January. So if you went January of 2023 to February 2024, you would have at least, 13, 14 months maybe of accomplishments that you could consider.
That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying. You start Wrestle Kingdom of January 2023, and you go into Wrestle Kingdom of 2024, because then you've finished at Wrestle Kingdom of new people swapping over and the start of new things. And that's how you can also judge it, because if belts change on that Wrestle Kingdom, that's what would put them up on the list going into the next year. How long was the feud of the new belt?
That would take into account all of the accomplishments and all of the premium live events or anything across the entire wrestling industry, not just specifically designed for WWE or AEW.
Yep.
Just one more name that I want to search up before we wrap up, because I think you've just basically like explained the PWI list perfectly on like how it works and how people should perceive it. I do want to look at one more name, and if he's not on there, I will be quite annoyed. Is Sheamus on there?
I think I remember seeing him.
Yes, 54.
54, I'll take that. Although he did have a match of the year last year.
Yeah, he did.
One match of the year. He had fucking many. You know what? I have just saw a comment in our section. We won't know that yet because the female one hasn't been announced.
No, we're doing that in a different video, I think.
I would speculate Rhea being quite high on the list.
I don't think Rhea's going to be number one. I think next year's PWI list, she will for sure easily be in the top 3. I think this year she will be top 10 for sure.
I think if we're doing SummerSlam to SummerSlam, I mean, you've got to say Bianca Belair is number 1, right?
Bianca wasn't she number 1 last year?
I think she should retain a spot, to be honest, because she was women's champion last year at SummerSlam.
And she became
When
the
she- when
longest
she beat
reigning
Becky
women's
Lynch.
champion of all time as
Yep.
well, too.
Yeah, and then
Here's my hot take. I think Mercedes Moné will be very fucking high up on the list.
but it's 100%. I agree with that as well.
Just because of how she debuted, how she won the belt, how she defended it until she got injured. I know it was a short reign, all the injury and stuff, but I think
she packed a lot into that time.
Yeah, exactly. And the feuds she had were like the biggest New Japan names to call out.
Yeah, I definitely think we'll see Charlotte and Becky in there as well, and potentially Bayley in that list.
I hope Asuka. I hope to see Asuka get high enough because she deserves some.
We'll for sure see Io as well too.
For the Royal Rumble performance alone, I think Asuka deserves to be
facts.
Yeah.
I think that might actually put Rhea quite high then because of that Royal Rumble performance.
Yeah, that's true. Well, again, and I'll bring this up again for the men's list. I was just talking about Gunther's Intercontinental performance and his reputation on there.
What, the Royal Rumble?
Hello, Royal Rumble performance. Like, what the hell? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Isn't he the longest Royal Rumble?
Yes.
He got
Iron.
How is he not won?
Exactly. And he got this in this time frame, my guys.
Yeah.
So I don't understand how he's not number one.
And as I say, I wouldn't mind if Gunther was in the top 3. I really wouldn't mind. And I also wouldn't mind if Seth dropped down so that Gunther could go on top. That's the only time I would allow something like that to happen. But I can see why Seth Rollins is number 1. I mean, look at his year position from last year. He was 17 last year. He kind of really wasn't doing a whole lot last year.
Well, he redefined himself. He got himself organically over with the Woe chance. He got the World Heavyweight title and arguably has made that belt feel so much more significant than Roman's belt because
he's there defending it every single week.
But like, don't get me wrong, that's not me discrediting Roman with his defenses because the storyline, he is the storyline belt. Seth is the workman's belt. That's how I now see the two of them. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
But yeah, I think it'll be interesting to take a look at the women's list at some point in time.
I can't wait to look at the women's list when it comes out.
Because the women's
list is going to be very interesting.
The thing is with the women's list and the men's list, the men's list is 500, where the women's list is only, isn't it 150?
No, women's one is also, I'm pretty sure the women's one is still.
Scroll down, I saw an ad for the women's list before. You scroll down on the thing. There you go. Women's list 150.
That's odd. That's weird. So, well, that'd be interesting to get an update on that then, 100%. Oh,
yeah. We'll take a look at it after the pod once we're off to see if it's actually gone through.
Ross?
Yes?
Speaking of updates, do we have any updates from Twitter?
Not yet. They have pushed back the time for the UK to be 10 p.m. our time, but it's believed in WWE that NXT cuts are coming around that exact time of 10 p.m.
Oh, God.
Oh, so 10 p.m. your time, if we're sitting on the call afterwards, we're probably going to be talking about it.
Right, okay.
But there is some quite scary there are quite some scary tweets coming off some of the NXT guys where they're like tweeting some interesting things that are now making me worry for certain wrestlers.
I'm just happy that Andre Chase is in this list. That's made my day.
Andre, I'm glad Chase got
that. So guys, any final thoughts on this list?
I think we take wrestlers for granted. Look at how many wrestlers' names are there. Like to get to have 500, and that's only scratching the surface of like hidden talent of wrestlers.
People that they know. Yeah.
Like I think wrestling fans are just eating good. The amount of promotions we get, the amount of cool wrestlers we get, and like I feel sometimes we take it for granted. But lists like these are fun because we get to have these conversations and be like, "What? How dare these wrestlers get love?" Because that then makes us fans and how you create friends, both liking the same favorite wrestlers or being like, "I don't agree on that wrestler being that low," or "I don't really think that wrestler should be high."
But at the end of the day, I think we also have to remember that this is just a group of people's opinion, just like we have our own opinions as well.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
At the end of the day, this is supposed to be all lighthearted and fun, but there's Their critiquing, I think, is one thing that really annoys me. And honestly, I think after the podcast, we should definitely watch that video I sent through because that explains a lot. And that would be good for us to watch that going into doing the women's one as well, too, because we have a little bit more understanding as to why they do things. But
also, we hope all the wrestlers that have sadly lost their jobs land on their feet.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, and do you know what? A year from now, like a lot of those people, I bet, because of how well they do on the indie scene, will probably be on this list. So.
And I think it's also a testament to, as you know, Ross said just before, the wrestling industry at the moment is in its absolute boom period. There is so many different places that people can go.
Oh yeah,
if we think this time a couple of years ago, there was only WWE and maybe like Impact and a few different independents, but now you've got AEW as well.
100%, and look at this. Like, there was a time where WWE was like killing indie scenes. Like, they killed the whole UK indie scene for a long time, and now it's on its way back up. So it's really cool to see like with Rev Pro and all that sort of stuff.
Rev Pro, Defy, Progress.
Yeah, exactly.
I definitely think that these people will land on their feet for sure. I'm really hoping they will. Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's a nice little thought to end on there. 100%, like wishing those guys like the absolute best in like the future endeavors, and that's not even to be like. You know,
that's not to be funny about the joke.
We genuinely want them to land on their feet and get going in the companies that
especially with the cost of living crisis all over the world at the moment. 100%. Like, you know, it's such a hard time to lose your job, and honestly, my thoughts go out to them, and I'm honestly, as you say, hoping that they land on their feet. And it's hard. It's never easy to see someone lose their job. And I think one thing I'm going to finish on comment-wise is I think we tend to forget that wrestlers, that is their job, because we're so used to just seeing the entertainment aspect and everything. We actually forget that this person does it for a living. It's how they pay their rent. It's how they buy their food, how they purchase their clothes on their back, you know, how they do everything.
End of the day, wrestlers are human beings, all the same as us. Just they put their bodies on those mats and put their bodies on the line to entertain us.
And their bodies on the floor as well.
Well, the bodies hit the floor. Right. Ross, do you want to wrap up? What do you want me to do? Oh, Court, do you want to do it? You've not done it before.
Yeah, Court, do you want to wrap up? Okay.
It's too early in the morning for my brain to come to grips with everything
you want to do your fabulous, very YouTube
He's got it down, packed, guys.
You got it down.
Right, if you're putting it on me, okay, that's absolutely fine. Guys, thank you so much for watching Outcasted this week. I hope you agree with our comments on the PWI list this week. Make sure to stay tuned because we'll try and provide updates. And if there's any NXT releases, maybe there'll be some TikTok videos on the way, or maybe we'll just talk about it on our Instagram and such stuff, etc. Look out for these guys' channels because they might even post videos about it on TikTok. But for now, if you've enjoyed the video, make sure you hit the like, and when it's uploaded, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you stay updated on our future videos. But for now, I hope you have an absolutely fantastic rest of your week. Stay tuned for Saturday morning for the SmackDown review and Ross's wrap up on Sunday for the whole of this week in AEW. But for now, peace out, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.